play of the game from way down.
Two, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bombs going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob Stasnico gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. Boy, do we have a show for you tonight. It's Division D East. I'm joined by Lulu. How you doing, Lulu?
I'm doing great, Aero. There is a whole bunch of exciting hots going on tonight.
There is. There are so many matches that have, playoff implications as to whether people get into playoffs, whether they're going to be first place. Can they get that fourth seed and be in the upper half? Where are they? And this is no exception. This game is going to determine who is first place in Division D East.
Yeah, both very strong teams. I think Bancho only dropped one map this whole season so far. So we'll see if they can keep it up against ProBUs, who's in second place right now.
And speaking of first and second, Bancho sitting at 26 points. As you said, only one map dropped for Bancho. ProBUs only has dropped 3. So ultimately very close in the standings here. 2 points behind is ProBUs, and they need a 2-0 victory to be able to overtake that first place spot. Taking a quick look at our map bans, and then we'll get right into the draft. We've got Bancho banning out Alterac Pass and Volskaya Foundry. And then we've got ProBUs banning out the, Tomb of the Spider Queen and Dragonshire. And our first map's going to be on Battlefield of Eternity. I see that Oriole is left up and not taken.
What? You know, I didn't want to say it because, you know, it doesn't always have to be about Ariel, but 8-bit with the immediate Johanna lock, leaving Oriole still on the board.
I'm so confused at what's happening right now.
Yeah, me too.
Has this happened since Oriole got buffed? I don't think so. And we see Bluestein pick that up almost as if they were like trying to figure out what was going on themselves. Like, did this really just happen?
It sure did. I mean, I know 8-bit has gotten a mega kill on Johanna before, you know, maybe he thinks he can take it all, and they don't need the Ariel.
So, brief side note here as we get Lunar and Ando in here. So, earlier, when I was setting up who is on each of the teams, typing in their names into my little list here, I was going down the list and I typed in all of the heroes for Bancho. And, I might have accidentally put myself on that list because, of course, I hadn't been dropped to the casters yet. So I completely didn't even pay attention to the names I was typing in. Just typed them in and then just, oh, Aero, next. Yeah. But, I mean, in my defense, I was in the middle of an interview. I was trying to get everything set up and...
Wow, that's a lot of excuses from the headcaster.
You know what? Rek, are you still out there? My last caster was very nice and respectful. Just throwing that out there. But we're going to get Zul'jin and Artanis. So a lot of race potential here from the side of Bancho. Accidentally says Recycling. So far, just Lunar. Do we see a Rainer or a Vala? No, it's going to be Jaina and Thrall. Apparently, the powers of my selection awareness have dimmed a little bit since last game.
Were you actually predicting the right thing last match?
Yeah. Called out the Murky, called out Avala, called out...
That never happens. They always do the opposite of what you say.
Right? I whiffed the Diablo last game, though. I was like, it's gonna be Garrosh. Oh, Diablo, kind of the anti-Garrosh. All right, I'm gonna put up the vote here. New poll. All right, who wins game number 1? Is it gonna be Bancho or is it gonna be ProBUs? Bancho on the left, ProBUs on the right. This is Battlefield of Eternity. What do you think? Now, I do have to point this out. Recyclic says, I actually literally just came back. Now, I don't know how it shows to everybody else in Twitch chat, but my stream window cut off the back.
Yeah?
Yep.
Thanks for sharing, bud.
That happened. So I was very confused. But anyways, let's go ahead and introduce our team. I'll start with Bancho, the
Sounds
currently #1 ranked team in Division D East. We've got Skev13 playing Artanis. We got Shisui on Diablo. Ronan playing the Zul'jin. Quinal on the Li Ming. And Bluestein version 2 on the Aero.
And for the fine probes of ProBUs, we've got 8-Bit on Johanna, Tunabref on the Lunara, Chaos Tank on Thrall, Secret Asian Man on Jaina, and Hung Fu on the Anduin.
Alrighty. Excuse me just one moment. I've just got to take care of a thing. Wait, how do I do it? You can keep talking.
So
Any
many
talents you're interested
questions. It's everybody did take talents. Can confirm. Off to a good start.
in? Excellent. Anything in there that you're particularly excited about?
No. I mean, they're talents, Aero. Everybody takes them. There was a Bush Artanis for a little bit, but he decided to dance around instead. Exciting stuff in the off lane.
Gotcha. All right. Well, for Oriole here, it's going to be Swift Sweep. So, going to have those faster sweeping strikes. Diablo looking in on that. I think it was Johanna that was in that. Looks like ProBUs getting the bulk of the votes here, sitting at 75%. Gonna be Soul Shield there for the Diablo, helping him with Johanna's burst potential and even the Thrall and Lunar damage as well.
I do want to point out in the chat where Psychic thinks, irregardless, this is going to be a great cast. And I agree.
Yeah. If I could find the button to mute him, it would have already been done.
Oh.
So, alright, anyways, let's talk about these teams. What do we got going on? Level 3 on both sides here, so not quite to that level 4 talent. 22 souls for the Diablo. And interesting here, we've got the Bone Slicer. So Zul'jin gonna keep that on the Immortal, helping his race a little bit. Li Ming going into the Force Armor there, so that'll get eaten up pretty quickly by the Lunara Nature's Toxin. But it also gives that mana return now. So that's helpful. 100% increase mana regeneration under 35%. We do have Ban Cho picking up the Shaman camp a little bit ahead of ProBUs, but both teams ultimately sending them out. Huh,
Yeah.
from this angle that... Oh, it is a skull, isn't it? Because it's the... yeah, the whatever skin for Lunara.
What?
The Nacho Libre skin.
Ah.
Because I can't remember what that was called. Nexomania. There we go.
Nexomania. Oh, bye, Diablo.
Speaking of Nexomania.
We
that
got
would be a
some
dead
fights
Diablo.
breaking out in the Nexus.
Now, I do find it interesting that both Diablo and Lunara are using their Nexomania skins. But they're on opposite teams, and they're the only ones.
Yeah. So at some point, they need to have a duel to the death. It's the only way.
All right, I think that leaves like a dead Lunara, but I'm not positive. It could go either way. But the race here potential is so close, but right now it's looking like Ban Cho. Yeah, okay. It was really close, and the dot damage from Lunara. I think you know, she's got Nature's Culling, but that obviously that takes time for that to provide additional damage here. And it only gets worse with Li Ming getting, you know, higher in levels. That race potential is gonna increase for Ban Cho pretty significantly, I think.
Yeah, I think there was a minute there where ProBUs was only had 4 on the Immortal, which also doesn't help with the race.
That is true. That is true. It is hard to race when you're down a hero. All right, well, the Immortal's going to get taken out here, only getting the wall in about half of the fort. The Detainment Strike onto Johanna, knocking her away. Looks like they're still trying to get the Diablo. They've got the Condemn pulling him in, and but 8-Bit, I'm pretty sure that Leap of Faith was supposed to go out to the Johanna. And now Johanna, oh my goodness, getting some arcane missiles right in the back. And speaking of back, that's going to be a Johanna going back.
Oh. And also an Artanis going back and respawning.
There we go. I found it, Rek.
Oh no. Aero. Oh, you deleted all his messages.
I put him in a timeout.
Hashtag justice for Repsychic.
I don't even know what that actually means. I don't know if he can't talk now at all, or if he can only talk after the 10 minutes. Like, I don't know.
You literally put him in timeout.
I literally put him in timeout.
That's pretty messed up, Aero. He was casting with you like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, regardless.
You regardless, excuse you.
No. Alright, so Thrall's going to go ahead and head back as the bottom siege camp picked up here. Top lane still alive, still doing well. It's got about half of its health here. And timer on the Shaman camps pretty close. So they'll be available at halftime, depending on what these teams elect to do here. They're both on their aggressive side, so it looks like ProBUs is going to come in recognizing that they have a little bit harder time with the race. And Li Ming did go into Seeker too, so she's able to do a lot of damage into this Immortal pretty easily. And there's nobody putting damage onto the Immortal for ProBUs at this point. Well, correction, Toon Breath is now doing that.
Yeah, Li Ming is just staying around the edge, throwing in the poke damage.
And she's got
Have
about
to do something.
60% of the way there.
Right. And Ban Cho is able to take their camp while she does that.
Johanna just taking the damage, trying to soak up anything that that they can to keep Li Ming from bombing in on that Immortal, but it's just not enough. And so halftime's gonna go over to Ban Cho. Both teams trying to get those level 10s here. Diablo versus Thrall up in the top lane. everybody else in the bot lane for ProBUs. Halftime is going to get finished here for Bancho. And there goes Artanis with his suppression pulse with the blind.
Oh.
Ring of Frost, though, coming out, gets the kill onto Artanis. Diablo in a sea of red shirts right now. There's the Oriole bringing back the Artanis here. Ronan gonna get away, but Bluestein may not. But Artanis getting the trade, killing out the Jaina here. And so ultimately, a 2-for-1 that leaves it at 1-for-1. And an Immortal.
And an Immortal. Health bars are pretty low right now for Bancho.
I need to find Recyclic so I can unban him, or untime out him. Like, I don't even know how to do it.
You should have thought about that before you put him in timeout, Aero.
Feels bad. Alright, well, Immortal finally goes down in the bot lane there. It does get a pretty significant amount of damage there. 80% of the fort. And because everybody's in the bot lane, that leaves Bancho the opportunity to pick up that top lane siege camp.
Oh.
What?
Finally, Ming. Yeah, during that push, Bancho had 3 in the top lane, and so they were able to get that top fort down. And there goes Diablo 2.
Yeah, that was a fantastic route there from Hung Fu, getting the Diablo with that Chastise, and then Lunara just able to use that Leaping Strike, jumping over his head and getting the kill. Let's see if that works.
Despite the objective going over to Bancho and the structure, ProBUs is still up about a level in experience right now. And very close to getting their 13s.
Yep. So, you know, ProBUs at this point has to deal with the fact that they've got an Oriole res, and they don't really have fantastic ways to deal with it. Like Li Ming, if Li Ming was on the other side, they'd be able to get that, but never mind, they're gonna get the kill onto Li Ming. She probably just comes right back once ProBUs walks away from this, so they've gotta just kind of hang out, guard this point. And it looks like we're going to have Lunara getting started on the race. Once again, Bancho able to just kind of poke at it from the side.
Yeah, this is good for ProBUs, though, because they did have some time where Li Ming wasn't up. Because she can basically just keep poking no matter what ProBUs does.
Yeah, other than, like, diving in on her.
Right.
But 8-Bit grabbing even one of those missiles does help to reduce the damage pretty significantly.
Oh,
Swap
Zul'jin
just
falling?
missing. Root is going to land. They lose the Jaina, but the Ring of Frost does get the Zul'jin here. Zul'jin's coming right back, though. And now they're looking for the kill onto the Oriole, but they don't get it. The Disintegrate just burning down the Thrall. Artanis falling to Anduin. And this is a 4 versus 3. Anduin, Oriole keeping this fight alive because of that Resurrect.
It's just such a strong ult.
It really is. I don't know why this is acting this way. Well, another Immortal gonna go over to Bancho. And it looks like ProBUs is trying to make something happen here and now while the Oriole res is down, but they couldn't quite get it, and Thrall going up into the top lane to try to push back on that lane pressure.
Yeah, it's gonna make it a little bit of a tough defense here. Bot lane, 4v5, plus an Immortal. Oh, okay, now Thrall's coming down.
right, well, Immortal shielding is down. The charge from Diablo onto, I think it was Johanna there. Didn't quite get what they were looking for, so Johanna just walked away. The Immortal is going to fall pretty quickly here. They have the full team. ProBUs is going to lose about half of their keep. And Blessed Shield going out. They're looking for this fight. They get the Suppression Pulse going in. APOC coming out as well. Light Bomb, though, is going to get a triple stun, but it's Lunara who falls first. And Zul'jin is hanging out in the back, trying to now get onto the Thrall. But with that kill and this wave here, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we see them just hang out and try to finish off the keep. But instead, they're going to grab the Shaman camp, get a little bit of pressure up in the top lane there.
And Bancho has finally got a little bit of an experienced lead here. Just barely.
Yeah, I think that ultimately they'll hit 16 about the same because there are, you know, minions coming for ProBUs to gather. Of course, that camp gives a little bit of a boost there. So there's 16 now for Bancho. And Thrall will be able to pick up 16. There it is. Artanis got the siege camp in the bottom. So pressure in all lanes, all two.
Accurate.
Now this is the defensive posturing here. For the Immortals, so a little bit harder for that Li Ming to poke safely.
Yeah, there are two camps down in the bot lane for ProBUs to deal with. They cleared out the first one, and it looks like Lunara is going to stay and clear up that other one pretty quickly. But meanwhile, Bancho gets halftime in about 2 seconds.
Well, Oriel getting a big heal there. The APOC coming out, as well as the Ring of Frost getting quite a bit. But Jaina gonna get taken out. We got Taz Dingo coming out, and Hung Fu just eating all of the axes as Zul'jin killing both Jaina and Anduin here. Thrall and Johanna falling as well. Tuna Breath trying to make it out is going to make it just barely. Does Skev die? Skev dies. Wow. The power of Lunara compels you.
Feels bad, man. Yeah, the fight started off really good for ProBUs. They had a big light bomb on the Johanna, but they just didn't quite have the damage to get the kills, and then Li Ming starts getting her resets, which isn't a fun place to be.
Yeah, once you're in that tight corridor and she's getting resets, it's pretty much just Death City. Well, top lane now is where the Immortal's going next. There is still a wall here, so could see a little bit of a defense here from the Jade on Lunara. Working on bringing that Immortal down, the shielding down, although it's fully shielded. This is a tough defense. But it's going to be made easier since Bancho is coming down into the bot lane to work on the bottom keep. And if they're not careful, I mean, Bancho might just go for core here. Psychic is back. Welcome back, Psychic. And yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit surprised. Like, they take out the minions here, but that's it. They're backing out here. The top keep is going to be safe. Only losing about 15-20% of its health. So ProBUs is still in this game.
Yeah, Bancho's content just to take the free keep in the bot lane and not make any mistakes to put themselves in a bad position.
So they get the top siege camp here. And there's only one camp left on the map currently. 14 seconds until the ProBUs side Shaman camp. A minute until the Bancho side Shaman camp. What do we got? So it is Mirror Ball as well. So Li Ming going straight into that big burst potential onto the immortal with the arcane missiles. Obviously, if it hits a hero, that's pretty much just brutal as well.
Can confirm. That's not fun.
So the siege camp is picked up, but that's going to leave the shaman camp for Bancho, where there's already a siege camp pushing in top lane.
Very reminiscent of what happened before the last Immortal. But this time ProBUs has a little bit more time that they can clear out both of these camps before the objective comes up.
And Bancho can be patient. That said, it's once again on defensive posturing. So this is the opportunity that ProBUs needs. Before level 20, there's the Blessed Shield going out. They get the Condemn Light Bomb coming out as well. Blue Team getting deleted here. Resurrect coming in immediately, but Jaina rather falling in that process. And that's just a 0 for 1. Although now the Zul'jin falling, but the kills coming in. Li Ming getting resets. That's a triple kill so far. And Hung Fu, oh my goodness. The pause in that movement to try to heal saved him from the Li Ming missiles, but it didn't matter. And it looks like with the 5-man mega kill, Bancho gonna make their way onto the core and officially secure themselves first place in Division D East. In about 10 seconds.
The GG was already called by 8-Bit. This game's over, Aero.
I don't have chat up. All right. I cannot get... How do I get rid of this? Oh, there we go. All right, so 13 kills to 14. It actually was in favor mostly of ProBUs, which you would kind of expect when you consider that they had to kill an extra hero with each team fight.
Right. Every team fight, it was like 6v5 in total bodies involved in it, so more chance to kill people.
Exactly. Well, level 20s were available for both teams at the end there, but some of our heroes decided not to pick those up. As you do. Both of our tanks, coincidentally. All right, gonna go ahead and do a quick commercial break so that I can take my dog out while these teams set up for game number 2. We'll find out where we're going in just a moment.
Impressive, Archer. But you'll need to do better than that.
You have no idea what I am capable of.
Good. Because you must be ready for anything.
Yield!
You show promise, Hanzo. Well done. But greater challenges still await us.
I believe we are ready.
It's time to find out.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Sorry about that brief black screen there. Dogs decided to take a trip.
They had dog things to do, Aero.
Indeed they do. And as per usual, at least as of lately, I have a cat butt that wants to be on the screen. So there you go, everybody. Congratulations, you get to see a little tail on the stream tonight.
Oh my gosh. Please never say that again.
Oh, I didn't give their point to them. Let's do that, shall we? All right, so we're gonna go to Infernal Shrines for game number 2. And it looks like it was the selection of ProBUs. When are we getting Wilford Brimley as the spokesperson for NGS? Excellent question, Recyclic. I think I'm going to have to refer you to our HR department.
Who's the HR department?
Oh, if I know.
Okay, my bad.
It's kind of the point. All right, so what do you think? Do you think we'll see an Ariel ban?
I mean, who knows? I would think so, because having someone come back at full health is very helpful. But also with Bancho's comp, they had the Li Ming, who's getting resets off of kills, Zul Jin, who has the Unstoppable, which also makes team fights very hard. So, we'll see.
Would you? All right, so we're starting off with the Deathwing as we saw last game. So we saw Garrosh and ETC were banned out. There's the Oriole.
Okay, I like it.
All right. Pardon me for one moment while I just AFK this cat into another room. So, Lulu, you talk about draft stuff.
Aero, don't hate on the cats. Cats are your friends. Stukov band coming up from Bancho. Johanna band from ProBUs. I guess they don't have first pick this time, so they just don't want to play against her. That's fine. Oh, yeah, you're right, Delta. I meant unkillable, not unstoppable on Zul'jin. Might be. And a first pick Kael'thas from Bancho.
On Infernal Shrines.
Yeah.
I like it.
Feels good if you're Bancho.
It does. Yeah, I had to mute there for a second because pretty much any time I come back to my chair, Alice will get a ball and tries to put it like underneath me as I'm sitting down. Yeah. And she doesn't like other people playing, other dogs specifically playing with her toys. So when, say, Alpha tries to get close, yeah, you know, change screen. Ah, damn it.
Oh, have we not been watching Draft?
No.
Aero.
It's this NA caster thing, you know. Too busy talking about cats.
I mean, there's no such thing about as talking about cats too much.
Vala gonna be the third ban here for ProBUs. And we did see the Greymane Varian, so Varian going over to Chaos Tank. So this might not be a taunt Varian, or it might be.
Very astute observation, Aero. It either will or won't be a taunt Varian. Can
Exactly.
confirm.
I appreciate that you are on the same page with me on that one.
I am, irregardless of our other differences.
No, Lady Ronan, that's not how it works. Yikes.
I don't
Alright.
understand, Aero. Please explain.
Nobody got time for that. Blaze and Jaina. So it still could be a taunt Varian. They could do a taunt Varian off lane. They could have Blaze in the off lane. But taunt Varian with the Greymane Cursed Bullet and then Jaina blow up could be a pretty scary prospect for Banjo to deal with.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So this time we're going to get the Tastar to help keep that Zul'jin alive. But, you know, Taz Dingo is a good way to deal with the blow-up potential from a Greymane.
I like both of these comps a lot. Oh, we did have a switch. 8-bit onto the Varian and Chaos Tank Blaze.
Thanks. I thought that might have happened. That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, it could have been a main tank Blaze.
It could have been. All right, who do you guys think is going to win game number 2? Is it going to be Bancho on the left, putting their eggs in the Zul'jin basket once again, or is it going to be the Holiday ProBUs on the right? Vote in chat, hit that little drop down arrow, select the team that you think is going to win or that you want to win. Hit the vote button.
I really like that Christmas ProBUs portrait that ProBUs is rocking. Very cute.
Indeed. All right, well, let's get our teams introduced. On the left, we've got Bancho. It's going to be Shusui on the Tassadar, Ronan playing the Zul'jin, Quinal on the Kael'thas, Skev 13 on the ETC, and Bluestein version 2 on Anduin. And for ProBUs...
Oh, it didn't say the last hero name. I was waiting for you to talk. For Probius, they've got Hung Fu on Rhaegar, 8-Bit on Varian, Secret Asian Man is Jaina, Chaos Tank is Blaze, and Tuna Breath is Greymane.
All right.
That was your mic's fault, not me.
Yeah, sure.
The record.
Yep.
Play the tapes, Aero.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all the people at home heard it. Just saying. So it's going to be Tassadar versus the Varian in the top lane. Which, I think kind of the idea of having the Tassadar is to keep the Tassadar with the Zul'jin. So as much as I would hate to see it, I feel like almost the Kael'thas would be better for that.
Hold on. So it is a main tank Blaze? An 8-Bit in the off lane on Varian?
For now. Until Varian gets level 4, probably.
Okay.
Fair enough. The votes are split. Some people want to go to bed. And this is a late night matchup for a Division East, D East matchup here. Starting originally at 10:30, got a little bit late.
So, Lady Ronan saying that she wants to go to bed, but also that's Ronan's wife, so of course she wants Bancho to win.
Well, of course, yeah. But she said she likes Probius's draft better. And I have to say I agree. Assuming this is a taunt variant. If it's not a taunt variant, then whatever.
Can't wait for it to be a Windblades variant.
If it's a Windblades variant, I hope they lose. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. All right. We're good.
It's a taunt
We're
variant.
friends.
Everything's
We can stay
okay. This isn't like the game where Murky didn't go Octo Grab.
Well, I didn't. But you know, the last game of the last series, Murky did go Octo Grab, and it was glorious, and it won them the game. But the rotation down onto Zul'jin, they get the taunt and the blow up coming out from that Greymane First Blood. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, I did catch the end of that game. Murky doing work.
Murky doing work. Yep. I'm trying to remember what I had such a good comment. Rek, what was that comment I made about the fish? Squish the fish. It was so good. It's like flex for Slex, except it's squish for fish. Squish the fish.
Squish the fish, not squish for fish.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's completely a different thing entirely. Shaman Camp's picked up in the top lane for both teams as Probius going to make their way onto the point. First, they got a quarter of the minions already done here. And now we've got the full 5-on-5 taunt going out onto ETC. He's going to power this power slide, 3 of them. Living bombs in the backline here. Kael'thas just kind of hanging out as the heroes of Probius walk by.
Those living bombs got very scary for Probius.
And they're only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Because I assume that we'll see the Sun King's Fury at level 7, which increases the damage when it spreads. And you put those on those minions, it's a big problem. It's very easy to spread those. Like we just saw there on the Greymane. Level 7's coming up soon for both teams, although slightly faster for Probius. 29 to 21 on the defender count so far here. And with the tap, Blaze is coming back in. I think that Bancho's got this. And that seems to be the case, although Blaze got the memo a little bit later than everybody else.
Yeah, Probius does have a camp that's pushing up in the top lane right now. It's got one of the turrets in the gate, but this protector's gonna do a little more work.
Yeah, it gets the lead onto... I wasn't gonna bother you about it, but the power slide coming in onto Varian doesn't have a protect himself, so it has to be a little bit careful there. And you know what? Honestly, I don't think we'll see the shield wall. Does Greymane get punished?
She's fine. Everything is fine. Nothing happened.
I think if you're Varian, you'd take Warbringer here because you don't want to reduce your parry effectiveness for auto attacks because a lot of that damage is coming from there. The exception might be if they take Pyroblast, and that's a might. Because I think it's still, like, I think a lot of your damage is going to be coming from, especially as the tank, is going to be coming from the Zul'jin. Just my thinking.
That's true.
Rip Diane. Diane's not in this match.
What happened to Diane?
I don't know. You'll have to ask for Psychic. So, let's see. So we do have Tassadar going into that Psystorm at level 1, so, you know, on a map like this, he should be able to complete that pretty easily. Sitting at 575 out of 1,000 so far. Rotation coming in, knowing that there are 2 up above, this is a great call by ProBUs, and it should secure them this camp invade. It does. But Bancho sitting a full... Bancho sitting a good 60-70% of a level ahead. And they've gotten 1 fort so far. The Leap of Faith onto Kael'thas, keeping him alive. Nice.
That was almost really bad for Kael'thas, because he brought him straight to the Varian. But he's fine. Everything is fine. Unless you're Chaos Tank, maybe. But he's also fine.
Yeah, there has been a little bit of a disconnect, it seems like, with Blaze and the rest of the team. Because that's the second time that he's done a jet propulsion in, and the rest of the team is like, nah. Nah, you're good. We're out.
Oh, that's... Bye, Blaze.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the 5-man push into the top lane. Now the next Punisher is mid lane. It's gonna be an Arcane Punisher, so it's not gonna be in a weak lane for ProBUs. But either way, they still want to make sure they pick this up.
Varian did take the shield wallet in.
I mean, you know, things happen. I don't mind it. I just thought it was likely that you would take Warbringer with this. Now, that being said, Jaina is really far behind on her quest. There's the taunt onto somebody. Our salvation going... Oh, it was on Anduin. Mosh Pit only on the Blaze here. And no deaths, even with that guillotine smashing right into the Varian. But you know what that did do? It almost tripled how much damage Secret Asian Man has picked up for his level 1 trait quest.
So everything's great for ProBUs. Ish. Except for, you know, being halfway down on this objective.
And ETC is going into the back pretty hard there. The Ancestral's going out onto Greymane. And Living Bombs are spreading. So Hung Fu now is in a bit of danger, but they get the kill onto the ETC. Varian looking for the Zul'jin, they get it. So a 2-for-0 trade this time in favor of ProBUs. And it didn't look like that was the direction that was going. It looked very much like ProBUs was going to have to back out. They were falling low. They get that Ancestral, they ended up going in. But they are still continuing to accept these Living Bombs. And that's...
Yeah, those
that's
kills from ProBUs came off that big double stun in from Blaze.
They're looking for that Anduin now. There's the salvation again. But ultimately, ProBUs going to get the Punisher. And can they get this Anduin? The Punisher might actually decide to leap. Not yet? No? There it is. Speaking of leap, Leap of Faith out on the ETC. Punisher following him around. And the Phoenix going to come down on the ground, help to zone out the team, and ProBUs then going to fall back. Get to work picking up camps in other lanes, gather some XP soak in the bot lane. ProBUs has got a tall order ahead of them. They've got to actually start getting siege value in these fights. If they get a kill, they've got to make something else happen with that. And they did get kills and they got the Punisher, but Punisher did almost nothing.
Yeah, the health bars are... Ooh.
Setting up a bush gank is a great way to start.
Yeah, that was a deleted ETC.
Yeah, it turns out if, as ETC, you're not able to put up any armor from any ability because you've been instantly taunted, yeah, you don't have a whole lot of health bar. So
now, what can ProBUs do with his time?
I guess they're going for the shaman camp?
Correct.
So, I mean, it's a denial. Tacidar's going to scout it out with his vision, so okay. They will be able to get it and get
That's
away.
Such an annoying force wall.
Isn't it? But still, ETC's back on the map, and all the only value that ProBUs got on that was getting that shaman camp. So need to see more out of this. They gotta find that value. So Tassadar completing that level 1 quest, getting that additional 20% damage. And oh, by the way, Oracle will show you that there's a little bit of a bush party.
You were just thinking about a bush party.
Yeah? Zul'jin pushing the lane up in the bottom, and Blaze is going to have to go down there and clean that up, as the rest of ProBUs looking possibly to get their shaman camp here, but knowing that Blaze is in the bot lane, Bancho coming in. They walk past the variant, so the taunt going out into ETC, however, not going to have the combo this time. Moshpit going to go out hitting the Rhaegar alone. The parry used, they're going to keep Varian alive, at least for a little bit. Secret Asian Man taking a flame strike to the face there, but a 1-for-1 trade. Healer for tank. So Varian is going to have to...
Ooh, he's still pretty low for this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he was going to go
really
back.
scary for him.
But no, he's just going to die.
You hate to see it.
You really have to be careful with the force wall, like, especially when he gets to level 20, if that's the upgrade he takes. I mean, that thing is up constantly. Pretty much the only way to address a force wall at level 20 is by killing the Tassadar. Because it reduces the cooldown from whatever it is, like 8 seconds down to 5 seconds. The duration is like 3 or 4 seconds. How long is it normally? 2 seconds? Yeah. Actually, I think it's even more. I think it goes from 8 seconds to 3 seconds. And it's up for 2 seconds or something like that. Because there's only a 1 second overlap.
Absurd.
And it's got double the range. It's absolutely bonkers. So it kind of forces you to go in, which, you know, in some ways is okay. I mean, they have a Varian, a Blaze, and a Greymane, and a Rhaegar. I mean, they kind of want to go in anyway. They just have to actually do it. They gotta find the right moment, too, so that they can get the value out of the Cursed Bullet. Punisher coming in. Sidewall is down, so they can rotate right in once this Punisher's there. They do. The Root Gun out on the Greymane. ETC's gonna get the Power Slide in. Does not have Mosh Pit? Nope. Ancestral going out to keep Greymane alive here. The Punisher shutting down the fort. And looks like Bancho pulling back until the minion wave comes in here, killing off the bunker as well. And with the fort shut down, they're all but securing this keep for sure. Thanks, Ace. Punisher is going to go down. We do see there's a little bit of value in the mid lane from this siege camp. It did get that tower. And it's going to get the fort down to about half health, roughly. But ProBUs is on a bit of a clock here. They've got to find a way to convert these kills into structure damage. Because right now they're still down on the structures everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of time right now before 20, so if ProBUs can set up another good bush party.
And yeah, massive 3-man mosh pit there. Gonna ultimately lead to 2 kills from the mosh pit, a 3rd kill on to Varian there. The jet propulsion from Blaze was great, using that Pyromania Unstoppable at level 1. But it just was too late. There was just so much damage. And what I was going to say was simply, Tacidar's not really the one that you want to hit with that taunt, because he just walks away from it every time. You gotta burst him really fast.
Sneaks away and gets out of there.
If you can't kill him in the 1 1/4 seconds that taunt has, then you just blew a bunch of cooldowns and you got no value. It's kind of like throwing an Ariel res out there, just without getting the XP. So Bancho now gonna have top lane wide open, bottom lane wide open, and they've got a siege camp going in the mid lane. And 20's coming up here soon for Bancho. They've got a full level lead at this point.
Yeah, so if ProBUs need a fight, they want to find it very soon. And it looks like they're on the hunt here.
And this is the right call. That siege camp was picked up just a bit ago. Oh, nice stun from the Blaze there. And you know what? That's entirely because Kael'thas turned around. If he just stopped, he would have been fine. We do have a couple of catapults on the core, though, with a third one coming in and a siege camp in the bot lane. So if we don't start seeing some backs here quickly, that becomes a problem. Blaze is going to make that back. And it might even get it before it gets any core damage, just in time. Siege camp now going to be worked on by ProBUs here. So once again, keeping that going in that mid lane. And the bottom lane going to be cleared up here. So ProBUs can now make their way onto the control point. Start getting some of these defenders down as Anduin and Kael'thas going to be back up here very soon. And with as aggressively as Bancho is positioned up in this mid lane, trying to get that level 20 soak. Exactly, Alice. ProBUs is just going to walk in and get themselves a kill.
That's really good for them in staggering a death, making sure they get the objective, and also just able to find that last fight before the 20s came up.
Yeah, and that was ideal. I mean, that also gets them very close to level 20. And they'll have level 20 with this Punisher.
This one will get past the wall too, I believe.
I think it's likely. There's only half of the top tower left. It should be able to make it. Trey Murai says probes are most dangerous when backed into a corner. Well, there you go. They're backed into a corner at this point. Punisher makes it past the wall and is going to get the fort down. So there's that structure damage off of a kill that I mentioned earlier. But once again,
the first structure down for ProBUs too, at level 20.
Core is taking some tower shots now, or some catapult shots here. Salvation is going to go out. We heard the cursed bullet go out there. I don't know that it got any value because of the protect. And taunt is not up yet, but Jaina gonna fall there to Zul'jin. Cursed bullet going out onto ETC, and it is the upgraded cursed bullet, so he's got that pretty frequently. But the burned flesh getting so much value with these flame strikes, especially at level 20 there. But they turn around and they get the kill onto Zul'jin. Great mosh pit, but is there anything to follow it? They do get the kill onto Varian, and ETC pays for it.
Oh. And no one was in the death metal until Chaos Tank charged in.
You know, sometimes you just feel like a dance party. I can't fault him for that.
Even in death, ETC must rock on. Oh,
by the
now
way, it is that
Chaos
upgraded,
Tank less good now.
It is that upgraded force wall. And that force wall just got them a kill. And a nice 60-second staggered death. Hey, ProBUs gets their second fort of the game. Just under 20 minutes.
Minions doing work in the mid lane.
Well, now they'll have some catapults spawning there, and most importantly, the next shrine is going to be in the mid lane. So if either team gets this, ultimately for ProBUs it could lead to game. If they're able to get it, right? They can punch that over the wall. It is a frozen Punisher, so it'll lock down the structure. That said, Bancho has done really well at taking structures down. And if they're able to get this Punisher, they could probably go all the way to the core as well. Assuming they don't just walk by and go to the core if they get some kills, so.
Right.
Not sure about this one.
They were just being extra safe to make sure they couldn't stagger more deaths waiting for plays to come up.
Yeah.
Everything is fine. Alts and heroes are back up. Oh, ETC is also fine.
Yeah, I think even if Varian had gotten that taunt, I don't think the team was close enough to follow up on it. Here comes the shrine, and this is going to be the defining moment of this game. Bancho has pressure in the top and bottom lane, so they can afford to be a little bit patient on this. They don't even necessarily have to take it. They just have to cause ProBUs to waste time on it. As you can see, 4 catapults in the bottom lane already stacked up. Varian doing his absolute best to clear those up, but it takes some time when you're just the tank Varian. And the Punisher is going to be activated here. Bancho getting things started. ETC holding on to that bush. And we'll have a pretty good idea of when and where the team's coming from for ProBUs. There goes the force wall. So again, keep in mind that is a 3-second cooldown with a 2-second duration. So that force wall is up all the time. Jaina still doesn't have her ice block. One good combo should do it for her, though. And ProBUs is going to get this evened up here pretty soon, it looks like. Varian going to get the taunt. ETC is going to get the face melt. Ring of Frost going out, but the Salvation coming out as well. Bunker going out to prevent the mosh pit from doing any real significant damage there. It's going to be Zul'jin falling up above, though. The team really sticking hard onto Zul'jin there. But now we see catapults on the ProBUs core.
Bancho's still really close to getting this objective also.
36 to 33. It looks like it's going to go over to ProBUs, though. Core is going to be cleared out. But there's still more catapults. 3 catapults in the top lane stacked up, ready to go. So Blaze has to deal with that. Punisher coming up to the wall here, getting ready to jump. It's going to jump onto the ETC. Sidewall is taken down, and they're going to start working on these towers. John Knight, healer, please. I don't remember where that came from. I think that was earlier when Force Wall was going out.
Poor Rhaegar getting bullied right now.
Just so many living bombs, right?
Yeah. Flame
Blaze,
strikes put on his feet.
Blaze on his way. And ProBUs not super comfortable on the court. Never mind, as I was just about to say, Varian and Rhaegar getting blown sky high by the Kael'thas here. Jet Propulsion coming in to try to keep the Greymane alive. And Chaos Tank using the oil to keep Bancho at bay. Keep that Zul'jin away.
That was a big save from Chaos Tank there to keep Greymane alive.
So it looks like Bancho is thinking that they can end the game on this, and they might be able to. They've got 25 seconds before the main tank and main healer are available from ProBUs. You have to be a little bit careful because you do still have the Blaze for the stuns here. There's the Salvation going out. Greymane can do a lot of damage, as can Jaina, as we just saw there. Both Anduin and Kael'thas dropping very low, continuing on as Zul'jin falling. Greymane is going to fall as well. The core at 37%. They get the taunt onto Tassadar. And it's only ETC left alive and 37% on the core. That said, I don't know if ProBUs has enough in the tank. They do have a pretty decent sized minion wave though, and they do have a catapult, so that would give them a fair bit of siege pressure.
Yeah, and they've got 30 seconds before all of Bancho gets back. So as long as they don't all get moshed and burn a bunch of time.
I think they're okay. I wasn't sure if just the Jaina's damage would be enough, but it looks
They
like
got
they're fine.
Rhaegar.
So it looks like ProBUs going to pick up game number 2 and send us to a game number 3 here. Not a big surprise out of the top 2 teams from Division D East.
Yeah, that's only Bancho's second map loss of the entire season.
Well, you know what? ProBUs has now doubled it.
That's true. They're just waiting this whole time.
You know, some people wait on Cherry, and ProBUs just waits on, I don't know.
I think they wait on 8-bit.
What a game. ProBUs,
Yeah, that was very back and forth throughout.
ProBUs didn't get the first fort, the first structure, until they were level 20. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was level 20. Yeah.
Yes, they had level 20s. They did a really good job at keeping up the experience despite the fact that they were down like 3-ish structures by the time they got the first fort down.
Yeah. They were down 4 structures. Both top and bottom keep were down before that first fort went down.
Well, there you go. And they were still able to keep up in XP throughout all of that. So it was a really good job on their part.
Yeah. Dallying Pig, the season is already decided because Bancho did win the first game, so it is not possible for ProBUs to get first place at this point. Lady Ronan says, "Told ya." I'm assuming that's at Ronan. I don't know if it's about us. Talking about when she said I liked ProBUs' draft better.
Yeah.
I believe Cho is already in first. Whether yes, exactly. Delta Sniper's calling it. Alpha's just barely in the screen here. She wanted to come up and hang out, so everybody's getting a little bit of Alpha time. She's so tired. She's like, man, I want to go to sleep.
I mean, it is pretty late.
I could tell. My co-caster was half asleep that game.
So sorry. I just, I figured you were mad after all the irregardless comments. I just wanted to stay out of your way so I didn't get put into timeout like Rec did.
Yeah.
Hashtag Free Diane 2020.
Yeah. Looks like, I think that Bluestein is in. Let's see. See where we go. Yes, Recycic's favorite dog, Al. Oh, they haven't chosen map yet, so... Alright, so apparently it's going to be ProBUs going for map pick here. Alright. While we wait for this, we're going to do another short commercial break. We'll be right back.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for! But on my journey, I have learned another lesson. You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this!
There is much for us to settle.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're going into game number 3 between number 1 Bancho and number 2 ProBUs. And I can say that with confidence because we know that's where they're going to end up.
Yeah, it's official.
Speaking of
This is
ending
just
up,
for pride.
where are we going, Lulu?
Going to Towers of Doom, Aero. Finishing the night on a spooky note.
Indeed. Looks like we have most of our team here, just missing one. You're the arrow of my storm. Aw, wreck.
That's so much nicer than you deserve after you, like, almost banned him from your channel.
I just put him on a pause for 10 minutes.
You've deleted all his messages. You wouldn't let him talk.
I mean, that all just comes when you do any of that, so it is what it is. Looks like we have our 5th from both teams. Let's put up the maps here real quick. Game number 1, Battlefield of Eternity. Map picked by Bancho, won by Bancho. ProBUs picking game number 2, Infernal Shrines, winning that. So far, surprisingly, map picks tonight have been winning the games.
Yeah, it has been a pretty first pick heavy kind of meta since Deathwing and Ariel have been so OP, so map pick can still do work.
Well, it certainly seems that way. And hopefully, let's let him know that we're ready. All right. We are going into the game, and you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Let's take a look at that draft screen, shall we? Boom! Nailed it!
Oh, man, it's so pretty. You can see all the spots where all the heroes are gonna go. You're gonna see the whole draft, Aero.
Yep. All 16 aspects of it.
Yes.
So, I'm interested to see, now that both of these teams have secured themselves their place.
You want to know if anything wonky's gonna happen?
I do. You know what I would like to see?
What would you like to see, Aero?
I would like to see one of two things from ProBUs.
Okay.
I either want to see them play ProBUs, which I don't think is likely, but I'd like to see it. Or I would love to see a repeat from Season 7, Kel'Thuzad on Towers of Doom.
Yeah.
Did you watch that game?
I did watch that game. Mr. Sage, you may notice, is not here. I believe he was the Kel'Thuzad.
Was he? I was
Unless
thinking
it was Secret
Agent.
Asian Man and Sage was on the
Yeah, I think you might be right, actually. I think it was Sage.
Alright, so this time, when ProBUs doesn't have the first pick, they start off with the Ariel ban, which I approve of.
It's almost like they learned from that first game.
I really thought you were going to say Season 7 Hung Fu on Lily, because that was kind of his thing back then. That's why I became a big Hung Fu fan. Anyone that plays Lily, I like you.
Yeah, but I assume that ProBUs wants to win.
They won their coast last season with Lily. Aero.
I mean, let's be real. They won their coast because of Kel'Thuzad. 100%.
You know, it's not very often where you can say with 100% certainty that that's what won someone the game, but yeah, Kel'Thuzad won them that game.
Yup. It's gonna be Sylvanas Shisui here picking up that that hero that empowers the sappers, shuts down the towers, makes it a fun time.
It was a very quick 2 picks out of ProBUs. 8-bit, back on Johanna.
We're not gonna get that the Kel'Thuzad. We could maybe still see a ProBUs, but probably not.
Yeah, I mean, neither of these teams is really living up to their name, and that's a real shame.
True, true.
It's just a whole lot of false advertising. That's not cool.
But we're going to see ETC and Hanzo. We could actually see a Cho'Gall still. Like, that is still technically possible from ProBUs.
It is.
Not likely, I don't think.
Maybe
Third
they'll
and
go
final
Cho'Gall and then another tank.
You know, all I'm going to say is Brightwing works okay-ish against Cho. Probably less so now, actually, now that I think about it. Now, since Cho's Q build got upgraded.
Aero, don't get us hyped for Cho'Gall. It was never gonna happen.
Anduin and Malthael. So that's a solid combo. Throwing in the Wraith Strike with the Light Bomb. And then suddenly Malthael has a bunch of shields while he's going crazy with his cleave.
Yeah. Also, Malthael was in this Christmas skin, which is really good for the Christmas probes. Pretty sure that's gonna make him stronger. Ooh. Azul coming out for Bancho.
Huh, that seems familiar.
Huh. I wonder where someone may have seen that before in NGS.
I don't know. I think maybe like Lurk Patrol did it once.
Definitely none of the region teams have ever run Zool before.
Nope. I don't think that's ever happened. Pretty sure I would know if it had.
Not to brag, but I know things.
Alrighty. So, who do you guys think's gonna win this game? Is it gonna be Bancho with their Zool strategy, or is it going to be ProBUs with their comfort picks?
I feel like the Malthael's gonna be pretty good at keeping up Zool here, right? He's a quick boy going between lanes.
You're allowed to think that.
Okay. You have much experience that proves me wrong, I am sure.
All right, well, let's get our teams introduced here. We've got Ronan playing the Zool, Quinal on the Hanzo, ETC going to be played by Skev13, Shusui on the Sylvanas, and Bluestein version 2 on Ana.
It cut out the last zero
On
again, Aero.
Ana!
Thank you. For ProBUs, they have Tuna Breath on Lunara, Secret Asian Man on Li Ming, Hung Fu on the Anduin, 8-Bit on Johanna, and Chaos Tank on the Malthael.
Alrighty. Taking a look at these talents, so we've got the Malthael Fear the Reaper here, so he's going to have that increased movement speed, not mounted, but of use, on use there. Target practice for the Hanzo. We got Zool going into the backlash, so getting that % damage with his shield. So Malthael is going to be able to clear lanes about as quickly as Zool in general. Without having the on a pale horse, he's not going to be able to rotate as quickly. So it'll be interesting to see how that matchup goes. Like, I'm pretty sure that Zool just wins at this point. Because he gets the minions, he's going to get all of the soak, and he's just going to push these lanes up, right up to the wall. Every time. And that's going to give Zool the opportunity then to do other things on the map. He can grab the siege camp top lane while Malthael's in the mid lane. He can zip down to help out with a siege camp with the team. He can take a team fight. Like, all of these things are opportunities if Zool can stay ahead. And that becomes a lot easier for Zool as he gets level 4, gets level 7, gets level 13. So, we'll see. We'll see how Ronan handles this. 8-bit on the Johanna is going to get brought pretty low. It's able to walk out. Does not get caught by the power slide from the ETC using the Unstoppable.
None of the sappers got a chance to sap anything. They just smush pumpkins in the lane.
Delta Snapper saying, Pale Horse and he can definitely dual soak. Yeah, it's not a question of being able to dual soak, because you can certainly dual soak. It's just how much are you able to keep up, right? Because especially as you get to 13, where Zool now cleaves lanes in like 3 autos in about a half a second. He's able to keep that pressure up. So ProBUs is going to have to find a way to take Zool out of the equation, which means rotations, which means you know, aggression on their part, and they don't have a lot of lockdown. They're gonna try to pick up both of the top altars here, which is, I mean, that's a great idea for them. And they're able to get one. Zool's gonna throw out the root, however, Johanna's gonna unstoppable that. ETC's gonna get that face melt here. Li Ming getting some easy damage onto the Sylvanas, the Leap of Faith coming out, but not in time as Hanzo's gonna finish the kill onto Johanna. But Zool very low. Zool doesn't have a lot of survivability at this level, especially with the level 1 he took. The shield loses a little bit of its potential value in this lane. Instead of going with the ice armor one, whatever that's called, where it has a cooldown reduction and also slows. But Malthael working on the Ana and ETC. Hanzo's just gonna get another kill, just getting that poke damage.
Oh, that feels real bad if you're ProBUs.
Well, this is also going to feel pretty bad as Malthael's going to be the next one to fall. So 8 points to 4 as the Bancho going to go ahead and get that level 7, about a full level ahead almost. Let's check out where that XP difference is coming from. Minions, we've got...
Gonna steal the sapper camp?
Does look that way. Maybe, maybe not. They're gonna pull back.
Just kidding.
So
ETC dropped very low.
The heroes here, 1,500 points of difference, but there's more difference in the minions. So right now, 5,600 for Zool, 4,500 for Malthael, and you can see like just how much of a difference this is setting up for the team here. Zool has his level 7, so he's able to cleave and get health. But right now, Malthael's going to push him back. The poke is real, says Lady Ronan. Indeed. And this map, it doesn't matter if you get all of the kills. It's all about the points. Doesn't matter how long you stall. Doesn't matter what your XP is. The points are what matter. Eat your heart out, Juke Carry. There's the Condemned coming in, looking for Shisui, but the Haunting Wave going to be able to get Sylvanas out. ETC getting that power slide to help out as well. And the next double altar phase coming up here. You awake over there?
Hello.
It's like I just turned the on switch on my Codecaster. Hello, you've got mail.
Just had to reboot.
All right, well, Li Ming's going to pick up the 4 points in the bot lane. Malthael was pushed back a little bit here. Let's zoom out so we can get a better feel. In fact, we'll probably have to go a little bit farther out as Malthael pretty far away from the team, trying to find an angle. Does get in onto Quinal, though, here. Hanzo getting a lot of damage back onto Malthael, and that's, he's gonna finish his target practice, no less. So Hanzo over here saying, thanks for the gift, my friend.
Oh, 8-bit also in trouble here. Yep.
5 kills to none so far on Towers of Doom, and that's gonna give now 4 more points over to Bancho. So currently a 4-point difference as Bancho getting to level 10 first. Oh,
And Ana taking the Eye of Horus for even more ways to interrupt channels.
I just found out how to zoom in super close. Didn't realize that one.
Who knew there was so much detail in this game?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
That is a danger hearth.
apparently a totally safe place to hearth right next to Zool. Who knew?
Yeah.
Sure.
But see, this is what I was talking about. Look at the structure damage here already. The tower's taking tons of damage here from the top lane. At least one of these is about to fall. Maybe both of them. Not quite. But because there's so much pressure here, Zool's rotating down. He's able to get in on this, make this a 5v4. Great light bomb, rather, and they're going to get the kill onto ETC.
Oh.
Lunara pretty low, but it doesn't matter. Zool cleaving into the Anduin, though, and Johanna's going to fall as well. Malthael getting the kill onto Ana, so a 2 for 2.
For now?
Malthael's got that movement speed, but he doesn't quite get the dismount onto Zool, so he's going to get taken out as well.
Almost made it out. If it wasn't for that pesky Zool route.
Yeah, and I think, you know, really, if they're not going to, you know, try to rotate in and get a kill onto the Zool, Malthael needs to accept the fact that he's not going to out double soak Zool. But what he might be able to do is kill Zool. If he can catch him in the middle of nowhere, where he's not going to get the additional value of reducing his cooldown on his cleave, or if he can, yeah, no, that's really about it. Before 13, you know, when he's not going to be able to get the auto attack speed on minions as well, that's his best play. And he's got the last right, so if you can get him, you know, just low enough, then he'll kill him. Blessed Shield going out from Johanna there, missing. However, Lunara getting some damage onto that Hanzo. Gonna take him out. ETC looking for the Anduin's gonna get that return kill. And now, Ana sniping down the Lunara. Malthael, I think, was trying to come help, but not really in a good place. And it looks like they get the kill onto Johanna as well.
And this is getting less good for ProBUs now. They're gonna lose this bottom fourth. They lost 3 heroes. Down a level and a half now.
Oh, okay. We got ourselves a pause. You know,
technical difficulties.
Pause, like, let's see if I can.
Do you have any good technical difficulties music, Aero?
I don't actually.
Wow. 91 casts and no music for this situation.
You know what I do have? I've got some Lucio music. Pump up the jam. Just gotta remember to turn it back off when we go to the interview.
Oh, we ready. All better.
Alright, we're back. Goodbye, Lucio music.
We barely knew you.
Alright, so just at the end of that pause, I think before I switched it back, they were able to get that tower switched over in the bot lane. Now this is where, like, ProBUs has got to make something happen. Not later, they have to do it now. Because Zool's now 13, he can pretty much destroy that entire team if they allow him to do so. So they need to make sure that when he starts doing that cleave, that they blind him, that they stun him. And it's a tall order at this point. They've got to reduce his double soaking effectiveness, because he's eventually just going to push those towers down. Light bomb going out on Johanna. They are going to take out the Zool, so that's the first step. ETC's going to get a big mosh here as Malthael's going to fall in the back. Lunara getting the damage onto Sylvanas might kill her. Nope, never mind. Sylvanas going to get the kill onto Lunara instead. And not entirely sure how, but Ana actually got the kill onto Li Ming.
And during that, the sapper camp that Bancho had gotten pushed into the bot lane and got them 3 points on top of the 5 that they got from that altar.
The only real good thing for that is that they did get the kill on Zool, so they at least slow down the pressure here. You know, because if Zool was up right now, mid-fort would likely be at half health, and you know, they'd be looking at potentially getting a 6 cap here in the next team fight.
Yeah, ProBUs is down a significant ways away from their 16s. Makes this a little bit harder to try and take back the bot lane.
All right. The sapper camp picked up, coming in the bot lane here. The tunnel opened up in the middle. And now Malthael is maybe slightly ahead of Zool, but I don't think it's because he's ahead of Zool. I think it's because Zool is pushing that lane a little bit more. He's taken the 2 waves instead of the 1. And now with these minions coming in, they got to take these out. They can't really afford to just keep losing points off the board. They are going to get all 3, and this is a triple altar phase. This is where this could make or break the game for ProBUs.
Oh, Johanna.
Especially if Johanna got killed there. The Dragon Arrow not quite able to secure the kill. So it looks like we're going to see ProBUs. They've got Anduin working on their side. And Malthael's in the lane trying to work on level 16, but if they're doing that, I'm kind of surprised that they're sending their 2 squishiest heroes to try to stall out. Ana in the bot lane does have the Eye of Horus, so she's able to help out even if she's not present. 25-6 now. So ProBUs still in this game. They got a point. They only need 1 point.
That could have been very, very bad for ProBUs with the Lunara and Li Ming going in 2v3 to contest the far altar there. But everyone made it out. Everyone's fine. And ProBUs has their 16s now to try and take back this bot fort. Keep, whatever it is called in this map.
At this point, it's a keep. Johanna's going to get the light bomb onto 3, so a nice big shield there. Skev going to fall to the last right, so that's a double kill for ProBUs. And but the return kill onto Lunara. She got a little bit aggressive trying to go after that Sylvanas. Not quite able to get the kill there. So, but a 2 for 1. And this is where they can start to mount their return into this game.
Oh, Hung Fu.
Not like that.
Not like this.
So stagger death onto the Anduin. Going to be about 20 seconds behind the Zool and ETC. And they still haven't gotten this bottom fort either. And bottom altar's coming up.
Altar's gonna be up about 10 seconds before Anduin respawns.
So ProBUs is going to head to the boss. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to defend that point. The challenge now is that they're going to have a clock with the sappers. So this is only going to give them 5 points, which is going to put them right out the 1. Now this is kind of similar to that game that we talked about earlier. So they get the boss, but are they going to be able to prevent all 3 of these sappers from coming through? What do you think?
Let's find out. They've got Li Ming and we got 4 people down here.
No!
Oh no!
Oh, Secret Asian man! Oh no! Oh, you hate to see it. Oh man. So in case you guys missed that, that was a wave of force that pushed the sappers across the line.
I don't really know what to say to that.
Wow.
Well, that's a shame.
Well, Bancho taking the victory on game number 3. Powers of Doom in a decisive fashion, getting that Zool double soak working for him. And it looks like we are going to get an interview, so let's go ahead and hit the let's hit the lobby for that. All right, so we are joined by Bluestein. So I've been saying Bluestein version 2. Is that actually correct? Is that what I should be saying?
Yeah, that's fine. I leave it up to the sayer's discretion. As long as it's not Blues Teen. I got that once.
Yikes.
That kind of rubbed it the wrong way, so that's the only one I would request no one use.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. We also have Ronan here, so I appreciate you stopping by, Ronan, and keeping your presumably spouse up a little bit later for the evening, because obviously she's all kinds of excited about that.
Hope she enjoyed the show. You know.
So congratulations, you guys, in your first game, secured first place in the division. How are you guys feeling after that match?
Pretty good. I feel like we kind of had something to prove this season after getting dropped down from C, so we just came in guns a-blazing this season and just decided that we were going to make the best of it, and I think all in all it's been a very successful year for us.
What do you think the best part of this season has been so far?
Well, for one, we got to play with Ronan, which has been just a delight. No, I'm not. It's been great. We've been able to, you know what, like, it honestly, I don't feel like between C and D there is that much of a difference. Like, I think you can put a bunch of teams from D up to C and vice versa, and you would have the same parity in the league. So really we've just been coming into every game like taking nothing for granted and just experimenting a little bit, playing some comps that maybe we felt like we would want to play and that we were comfortable with, but maybe weren't ready for competitive matches. So if anything, we've been integrating those kinds of comps into our matches.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what my personal favorite part of this season was for Division D East was knowing that Bancho was not the last team to schedule their last flex match.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
It got a little close.
It did, but it wasn't one of those all three flex matches in the last week scenarios.
Exactly.
There's nowhere to go but up.
So let's talk about these specific games here. Ask a couple of questions, and then everybody can take off, because obviously it's very late. It's East Coast here. So just a couple of things here. I was amazed and surprised that Oriole got let through on game number 1, not only through the bans, but also through the first pick. So you guys took a little while to kind of get around to selecting her. Was there even a conversation about that, or was it really just like, okay, now we have to change everything because now we're going to have an Oriole?
I think we kind of had a game plan going in, and we just wanted to prioritize a couple of the heroes above that, and if we got her, cool. If not, we'll deal with it. So
yeah, I feel like Oriole, the changes they made in the recent patch, like, she's still obviously very strong, but it gives the teams playing against her more of an opportunity to zone her out or make her do something risky in terms of getting that revive or the res. Yeah, so as strong as she is, and I think and obviously in a lot of comps she's still extremely powerful, but at the same time, if you kill the same hero twice, you're getting more experience, so it's a risky proposition.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And so Infernal Shrines, you guys started off incredibly strong. had full top lane, full bot lane before level 20 hits, and they got their first structure down. It looked pretty good for you guys, and then it kind of fell apart. How did that kind of work out for you guys? What happened, and what did you guys do to respond to that coming into setting up for game number 3?
What do you think, Ronan?
Well, I blame a lot of that on me. I think my positioning wasn't very good that game, and I was getting caught out and dying too early. And so that would give them the objective, but at the same time, they didn't really get a whole lot out of it either. But they just had a really strong lockdown comp, and like I said, we were controlling the map the whole time. But maybe the final call for core, maybe that wasn't the right play. Maybe we could have done things a little bit different at the core, but we'll look back on it and see what we did. So
yeah, I don't agree that you're. I mean, we all made mistakes, I think, is essentially what it came down to. That's fine. If you were out of position, it's because we didn't tell you were out of position. So that still falls on the team to like communicate that, I think. But no, it was like they're a great team and they capitalize on the mistakes we made. I think that's the simplest way of putting it, is that there's not a lot of margin for error when you play ProBUs, and as well as we started, we did make some mental errors, and kudos to them, they capitalized.
Yep.
Sure. So what did you guys do to set up for game number 3 to make sure that you were confident and ultimately successful in that game?
We knew after game 1 that we had locked the first seed in, so I think we were playing we were looser. We didn't want to give anything away in those, like, the last match going into the playoffs. So I think we played comfortable. We just decided, like, hey, these are the heroes that we maybe haven't used a lot this season, or whatever the case is, and just try and show teams like a different look and keep ProBUs and other teams on their toes. So really, it was just us going out there and being comfortable and having a good game more than anything.
Sure. Lulu, what questions do you have?
So you all secured the 1 seed today, which means you're gonna match up against the Nexus Cats in round 1 of the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
How you feeling going into that match?
I think we're just gonna take it like all the other matches. I mean, we're gonna play hard and play, a lot of our comfort picks, and hopefully take the win.
Hopefully.
Gotcha. Other question. Why do you never pick Cho if your name is Dan Cho?
It's a psych.
Psych.
And then when you least expect it.
She's not old enough to get the psych reference, guys.
What?
What? How old do you think I am, Aero?
When you least expect it. Maybe sometime this playoffs, maybe not. Can't give too much away.
Hypothetically, do the Nexus Cats need to ban Cho?
Hypothetically, no.
Or yes.
Yeah. That's
No.
I can't answer that question. My team.
Should be a good game though. I mean, you
Yeah,
guys
it's gonna
really
be a
took
great
it to
match.
us last time we played on that second map, so it should be a good game.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
That's what we're expecting.
All right, good deal. Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up. Any shout-outs you'd like to make? Excellent timing.
Right.
Anyone who stayed up to watch this match until 12:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
Or in Ronan's case, 11:45, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shout outs to my wife. I love you.
Yeah. And shout out to your Illidan. Holy moly. That was last match, but still.
I was going to say.
Illidan. Finally got to use them.
Wrong stream, but I had to shout that out.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. Yeah, no, we actually did have quite a few people in watching, carried over from the stream earlier and from Mongoose. So I think it was about 45 to 50 people, which is really strong. We tend to average 20, 25, 30 people. So you know, to have such a high number really showcases how important this match was to just everybody, really.
Are you not entertained?
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us here tonight. Don't forget to report your match, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So we're all done. I don't have anything else that I'm gonna cast this late. So Lulu,
You
anything?
sure you don't want to do like a replay caster 5?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
So Lulu, anything you want to say to Twitch chat before we take off for the evening?
Thanks everybody for coming by. Mareep is better than Wooloo, and Bancho, I'll see you next week.
Alrighty then. Sounds like a fun time. Do you guys have you guys actually even maybe set up a date already for that or not yet? Do you know? Like, has there been any conversation about that?
Not yet. No.
Gotcha. All right.
There's a Nexus Edge next Monday night that a couple of my teammates will be involved with, so.
All right, well, good deal. Looks like I think everybody is pretty close to done. So I think we'll send everybody over to the to Majesty's stream. I think that he's going. Let's see if I can.
Oh
get him
yeah,
up there.
there's a super late night game tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him on the list here.
For Psychic, Diane and I aren't friends anymore.
No, they're offline too. There's nobody streaming right now. Bahamut's, I'm pretty sure Bahamut's done. So there's just nothing going on at this point. So unless Bahamut, let's just, I'm gonna unmute Bahamut's stream real quick to see if he's actually done or if that's a true 1-1, and then we'll send everybody over
There's
there if he is.
supposed to be a Div B West match in 15 minutes on Nexus commentaries.
Is there? At 1 o'clock in the morning? There's a 1 o'clock in the morning game?
Soak Every Lane vs Spooky Ghosts, 1 a.m. Eastern.
What the? Jeez. All right. Well, cool. Well, Nexus Commentaries hasn't loaded yet, so that would be a little bit awkward.
People can just go to sleep then. That's okay.
Just pulling up there. Yeah, no. All right, well, folks, if you want to check out a game in 15 minutes as opposed to going to sleep, check out twitch.tv/Nexus Commentaries. They should be starting probably in about 10 minutes with that. Otherwise, have a good night. And if you're interested in some more Division B East action like we saw earlier, tomorrow night we're going to have very much a similar match to what we saw here in Division D, which is the Phoenix Rising Ruby versus Salt Scale Murgles. Phoenix Rising Ruby is currently tied with Regen Phoenix and Party Time with 23 points for first place. Salt Scale Murgles right behind with 22 points. So it's going to be an exciting match to watch. That takes place at 9 o'clock, I believe. And it'll be right here because, you know, we bring you all the best entertainment. So,
right here at twitch.tv/Aero of the Storm?
Right here at twitch.tv/Aero of the Storm.
Wow.
So there you go. All right. Well, Lulu, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Hope you get some rest.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see everybody tomorrow.